Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Team Frostbite's reactions for RWBY Volume 8. In the last episode, we had a massive fight between Cinder and Penny that really kind of went nowhere, and then hacking happened, and we were all very disappointed in this show.
It's all uphill from here.
No, it's not. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but I saw a spoiler, and I know what this episode's about.
You guys are really bad at avoiding spoilers, huh?
Yeah, you are.
I'm sorry, I follow a lot of other RWBY tubers.
You know, sometimes when I get the questions ready before we record, I cross my eyes so everything's blurry, but at least I have it. I sit there like
I noticed that you don't even go into the question thing. You just post it in general.
Yeah, no, I can't go in there. You know, me and spoilers, guys. Oof. But like I go in there and I cross my eyes, so like it takes me time to like get back to the other page.
Yeah, that's like me when I go into Horror House and I think there's like a spider image.
Yeah,
and I want to post something there, and it's just like okay, gotta post it blind. Gotta.
I mean, yeah. So, shall we jump right into the episode?
I say let's do it.
All right.
We should.
All right, here we go. Everyone loaded up?
No, not plugging the Patreon this week? Wonderful.
We kind of did. Like, we just talked about it.
Yeah, sure.
People are aware there's a Patreon, and then they
exists.
know that they can get into it by pledging $1
Tis
more.
the season of giving, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's where they can ask questions, so it can be a reaction. Yeah, they know.
Yeah, people know this. Just $1 or more. Yeah. Everyone knows that. You know, me, Fatman, Dashie, we all have our Patreons for that. So everyone should know. You know, and of course, we're very thankful for all of our patrons. We're not just being dismissive about them. I love every every single one of them that are probably on screen right now.
Right now,
possibly right now. Who knows? Maybe I'll put them at
you can put them at the beginning. I gotta make them wait for it. I gotta delay gratification for my Patreons. They all show up at the end. And they're all like, gotta watch all the way to the end.
Literally skip to the end.
Maybe I'll just have like a credit scroll, like not a credit scroll, but like, you know how you have credits at the beginning of a show where there's like keep fading them in at the bottom, and just like just do but over the gradual, like over the course of the entire video. I'm not going to actually do that. That's too much editing work, but that'd be hilarious.
Just have like executive producer credits and just like, just list all your Patreons. They are kind of our executive producers.
They are.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be the grip, the key grip, whatever that is.
Speedweed.
Yeah, Speedweed.
All right.
Best guy ever.
All right. Everyone loaded up? Ready to go?
Yep. Ready to go.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Tres, dos, uno. One of these days I gotta put up the, Floof's intro edit.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, that little symbol annoys me so much.
I think this intro annoys
me.
The clover symbol.
The little, yeah, okay.
Just because we went over this all in that episode. Just compounded nitpick.
Ponytail winter is still hot though.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys see that people were getting in a tiff over the person that said that Casey Lee Williams had more impact than the Beatles?
Somebody said that?
Yeah, I saw that tweet.
I just sat there. I'm just like, I can't tell. It's such a bold claim that I couldn't tell if it was serious or if it was a troll.
That's gotta be a joke.
I don't know, honestly.
Unless I'm blissfully ignorant of the underground hit of Casey Lee Williams. I just know that she did RWBY and is the daughter of the guy who made the RWBY music.
Actually, you know what the scariest part is? RWBY might actually have enough reach that, population-wise, it might reach enough people. So, technically speaking, by sheer volume of numbers, it outranks the Beatles. But
no, Beatles was worldwide. Beatles are like still at least I think top 10 band in Japan.
That's fair.
Okay, what's this?
I don't know the numbers. I would like to check that.
Next to the Scat Man.
Okay, the Scat Man is awesome.
I mean, true. He's like number 4 in Japan. It's excellent.
That's awesome.
Something like that. Oh, Cinder backstory. Finally.
She's okay. I
Wait,
like her pigtails.
She's Cinderella?
Yeah.
God, I feel bad for being that stupid.
Why? Oh
All
god.
right. Okay. I'll take. So a slave.
That was a slave compound, not an orphanage.
I don't know,
Both.
but she's not a faunus or anything. So like,
Is Cinder a secret faunus? Did she cut off her
maybe.
tails,
She's
and that's why she's wearing
Asian?
double buns? I mean, her ears, not her tail. Sorry.
I thought she was Miss Trillian this whole time, but she's at Legion. Okay.
are they in Atlas? Was that Atlas?
Yeah,
No.
Unless this,
No, she was in there. I'll take her, and maybe they travel to Atlas
I mean, it could be
in the same clothes.
Oh, that's a cutie.
Could you not change
There's
her?
a lot of cute designs going on here.
oh, sweet, a hooker.
The stepsisters, the evil stepsisters.
They're cuties too.
What's the over/under on them surviving this episode?
Nothing. None. Oh, she was hungry.
Oh, are you gonna make her eat off the floor though?
All right, that's good motivation.
Probably. Yeah.
Food?
Food is hilarious.
We don't do food here.
Well, there
Oh,
you
you
go,
are gonna
Fatman.
make her eat off the floor.
There you go.
Here, eat carbs, you lowly peasant.
I want those two to go call up their best friend Weiss at age 5.
Oh my god,
That'd be
right?
so great.
This music. That is haunting, though.
Bad lighting.
Oh,
Oh god.
Yeah, it's not for you.
Yeah.
Oh, alright, never mind. I take it back.
I
Fuck
thought they were
that.
about to dance for a
I was
moment.
Yeah,
gonna say, I thought that
Oh,
Cinder's
she's-
biggest problem was that she just needed to get a f***ing job.
She's eating the scraps. Oh, crap.
Yeah, plunge that toilet.
Oh, that last line. Oh, man.
Hey, it's Mercury's dad.
Was that Mercury's dad?
No, I don't know.
Look, I
We
don't
never
know.
saw him. We never saw him.
I mean, we know that Mercury killed his dad.
I mean, that he's wearing Mercury's jacket. Maybe they just reused the.
Is he? No, he's not.
Yeah, a sword. Yeah. You ever seen one of these?
What the?
Now that just seems wasteful.
Yeah, that seems very...
my
Well,
God,
why does she have
confirmation!
fire now? Why does she have fire now?
Because
That's her semblance.
Cinder.
It's
That-
we have
so
confirmation
it
that's
has-
her semblance.
So it's not the maiden power?
No, it's not.
It's not glass either?
No, I think you're jumping to conclusions here.
Well,
So-
that was fire.
Very much into slavery.
A shot collar.
I feel like letting your stupid daughters run muck around the place would be terrible for business.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there's that line.
Someone took my damn sword.
I apologize for the inconvenience.
Okay.
Oh, is she framing them?
She's just taking it, I think. I don't know.
Why'd you wrap it up like that?
Because pretend she's like doing laundry.
No, that's
Rhodes.
not yours, is it?
Did he sneak through the vent too?
Here, some bongos. Oh, damn,
Alright,
he's got
metal
like a metal
semblance.
hand? That's badass.
Yeah.
Love it.
Safe to say, you're not getting
Metal Man.
Is he the fairy godfather?
Oh, maybe
Ooh.
he is.
That'd be great.
That'd be really good.
You don't know what
but hurting them.
He's Iron
So far,
Man
so good
now.
for that.
You could run, but you're gonna be running.
Yeah, it is a
the rest of
semblance.
your life. The way to handle it.
like you can do whatever you want.
I like how they made her voice so little.
How old are you?
10.
Look, little
Okay,
old
but not for
10.
10. Yeah.
You want to be
But
a
I-
huntress? Then we've got about to train you for the
Okay.
hunting.
Is he just gonna-
kills her?
Just buy her.
just-
is he gonna?
Why doesn't he take her with him?
Is he gonna just like
mean,
live
we might
in
find
this
out.
hotel?
No.
Take her with you.
He probably doesn't live here, but yeah.
Oh no, he probably lives in the city, and he comes to the hotel restaurant, I guess.
Dude, one day he's just not going to show up, and she's going to get all. That's when she blows up, or something.
Maybe.
Why would you do that in the open? That seems like really bad.
I will say,
it looked like it was closed.
It's a hotel.
Remember that I feel
she
like
changed
this.
her hair.
It matches his.
So this is 7 years
My
then.
lady.
All right, I guess so. Permission.
Permission.
Okay.
So does child
You should
abuse
still take
just
her,
like
though.
not exist in this world?
I mean,
Whoa, kid! They have a literal shot
as a legal
collar on
thing.
you.
Oh, it's almost midnight.
Oh,
Okay.
Or when it goes
Look at
past
that
What,
clock.
12.
is this her 17th birthday or something?
Anyone?
All right,
how much
so-
time passed there? Oh, hey, look, racism!
They finally did it, guys. Yep,
They
there you
fell
go.
over.
Right. Without you.
Is that
Then you don't deserve me.
Because of you.
the clock? So maybe that doesn't work anymore
No, she just sort of
on her
built up a
18th
tolerance
birthday
to it.
or 17th birthday.
What do you mean you won't have to run now?
You're like, well, shouldn't you have taught her that not to
that's
do that from the very beginning?
Yeah.
the police. Now you got to learn how to hide bodies.
What?
No, it's criminal murdered someone.
No, don't, not the upbeat music. No, we need to keep it somber. Don't! You had good tone!
Music.
You had good tone! Why would you ruin it?
Upbeat
Nice.
music.
I too like Full Metal Alchemist.
Wait, why didn't she make, flour is horrifically flammable. That would have actually been a really cool thing she used as an explosive. And his wow,
already.
he's a terrible hunter.
He lost a fight to a child.
And there's hers
Some
goes.
huntsman you
No,
are.
they haven't.
How long was this fight, though? That's so stupid. Oh, it's so stupid.
Again, the upbeat music
music
really
is terrible.
fucking terrible here.
Say I'm sorry.
Call the police.
Say I'm sorry.
No, don't say you're sorry. The guy did
because
nothing wrong.
Well,
okay, we'll talk
Because
about that.
that's how bad
Why
he
didn't
felt.
you do
He did
that?
nothing
Why didn't
wrong.
she do that years ago?
Yeah, she just took it off.
because when the clock rang, I think she was free.
I guess.
I
My
That's
God, that
what I got
backstory
from
is
we
stupid.
need a timeline. We need something a little more clear on how old she was.
God, that
Yeah,
backstory
could she
was
only take
so,
that off
so
because
stupid.
she grew up?
Because she turned
That's what I'm getting from that.
18.
Cinder, you were hurt. I was just...
Oh, so did she always have a scar?
Besides, she went against our queen. I'd be careful who you...
If we'd had support, then maybe we would have...
Would you stop trying to protect her already? She doesn't care.
You.
He's
Yeah,
got a
about
point.
that.
Like, Mercury's looked after Emerald more than Cinder has.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
About that.
About that. Say
Oh,
there's
shit!
another
Is it
plan.
going to be relevant to the story?
Taking
That'd be great!
wants everyone on the bridge.
Like, ever since we saw
Something big.
Yang versus Mercury and Pyrrha versus
It'd be funny
Mercury.
if Cinder just reaches out and puts her squiggly arm on
Animation-wise?
Emerald's shoulder, just really long.
Animation-wise, Mercury is up there with Sun as like some of the coolest fighting.
that this is my...
Oh yeah, he's pretty badass.
His grudge is with me. Hell, it'll be even...
Has anybody animated him since
Oh, he's
Shane
pretty bad.
left?
I can tell.
I don't know.
Understand, I do.
I don't think so.
But you've
Wait, yeah, they have 5. That's volume 5. It's not canon.
Oh, okay. Johnny Silverhand. I mean,
Come on, Hazel. Come in and say sorry about your boo-boos. Come on.
Maybe you've taken one too many hits.
Salem. Once. So she doesn't. She has her followers work their way in.
can't she take over the world all at once?
Maybe we should do the same. We certainly are similar, you and I.
What?
It's gonna be Neo.
What?
Sir,
You don't need to fight this war.
oh man. What?
Hello.
Punch him!
Coward!
Yeah, to be fair, I'm kind of with Hazel on that.
Yeah, but also, it's still his body.
Oscar, that's why he was checking in with Oscar.
Damn
If it was okay.
The boy has suffered enough.
Why do you follow?
We're actually gonna get confirmation of how his sister died, didn't we? Aren't we?
I know.
His sister was the twins from the
How is she the
Cinder
answer?
backstory.
Stop her.
Salem.
So are my side abs.
I've seen it firsthand. But you
Doesn't
And
that hurt the
Salem
whale for a
actually
whale?
kills children. Like,
caused that.
Well, he sees Salem as more of like a hurricane. You don't blame the hurricane, but you'd blame the army for sending children against the hurricane. You know?
How do you kill a tornado?
You shoot it
Shoot
with
it.
guns!
Oh, so do they know? Do they know what happens when she gets all 4?
The show is about to begin.
dark music.
Really? 7 seasons in?
Huh.
There's a show.
8 seasons in, sorry? That was a bad joke. Oh well.
She starts tapping.
Who's a good puppy?
Or twerking. Whichever.
So Mercury is on the same, like... Unless Emerald's right there. No.
Alright.
Good news. Tyrion has heard from our...
Okay.
Oh, fantastic, Watts.
Although he remains in captivity,
Yep.
it's
Worst security in existence.
So no fight with Harriet.
the Winter Maiden. I suppose he remains useful after all.
I suppose... Okay, so she didn't know.
Bitch.
Oh.
Oh, you gotta be...
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what you
God.
gotta do.
No, you don't need to parallel that. You don't
This is
show
so
us that.
stupid.
Well, this is
I really
how they show
dislike-
she's going to betray her. Watch.
Your whole life unwavering
Oh, so everybody thought that Salem was the fairy godmother. Instead, she's the stepmother.
of lifting
Again. She's just like
Psych.
stepmothering to stepmothering.
Uh-oh.
Crunchy. Down, boy.
Go. He can lead you to the girl, whether you or my hound get to her first.
So they're trying to
And I will have my
stack it.
You'll only be helping her bring about the end.
You just let him finish that whole sentence, didn't you?
Yep. Hazel just wanted an excuse to faceplant him again. That's why he let him finish.
You're too late. Okay.
Work? How do we even know we can trust Watts?
Why is that even a question on trusting Watts?
This is why I don't trust technology. Now we're wasting our time searching for broken junk.
Huh.
Act like it.
Ma'am? We're picking up an open comms
How did Clover put up with you people?
John.
I repeat, a large, massive... Please, anyone.
Well,
This is awkward.
Great. You guys.
Did you hear? Hurry.
Where's Penny?
Are you serious right now? There are people in...
Because you kids are acting self-
Are they doing the exact same gaslighting bullshit to these people? Ugh.
Okay.
The Floof family's back. Yay!
Yes.
They're going to die. Whoa!
Whoa! What? What is?
Okay.
What?
Some shield that was.
Okay. Top of the line Atlas Tech.
Why do we have
How are they
cameras in
watching?
the exact places to see that?
Maybe the news crew is still out there.
I like that effect.
Oh.
That was a nice effect.
What?
Again, remind me why Salem can't just take over the f***ing world.
Why didn't she do that? I guess
She
she had a
seems
little...
pretty unstoppable as far as things concerned.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now eat them.
It's because she.
Now the whale
needs-
eats them. Go ahead.
Oh!
Oh my god! Oh my god! It'll ram the city, like just swoosh, boom.
Damn. I don't think they really did a good job at showing how
Oh!
big.
Underwhelming!
What?
Oh,
I
it'll
mean,
just,
that's adorable,
it'll just
but
bark.
underwhelming.
I mean, that's now it gets
Oh.
to
Hey, oh.
bleh.
Ew.
Oh.
Nice.
Brush your teeth.
That's cool.
Ew.
I mean, like, wouldn't it be easier to just have it start chomping on things? It's a giant whale.
ramming the place.
Well, it's gotta deliver off the kids.
Yeah, it's gotta drop off the kids at the pool.
Okay. Who wrote this?
Carrie.
Yeah, that explains some things.
So was that
Okay.
so that thing? It was just like once she turned 17, she could just take it off.
I guess that's what I got from it.
And they wouldn't feel any resemblant for a literal slave. No, it can't be that stupid. There's no way it could be that stupid.
I don't think she was 17. I think she was younger.
We have to look back at the timeline because he's like, 7 more years.
That's for the exam.
But then he like gave her the sword and is like, just a few more years.
Yeah.
Right. So like it's a little confusing there.
Was she super tall when he said that?
I mean, she was already tall for a 10-year-old. Like, these are some
I've known
tall...
some tall 10-year-olds though, but that doesn't mean.
How old was
anything,
Ruby
like, just
again? She
saying.
was like, what, 14?
I will stop you and I will raise...
15.
She is a tall for a 10-year-old that has been apparently malnourished.
Ah, nice. Also, I mean, you heard me. I was like, I like what they did with her voice, and then they were like, I'm 10. I'm like, well, not that young. So I'm with you.
Like, just because you have food doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be tall.
Yes,
per
but
se.
but having food
We don't call them
necessitates
It helps.
tall
you
man
being
falling.
tall. Or sorry,
Maybe Iron Man was just really short.
Yeah, it's fair.
4 foot king.
He was a manlet. Yeah, I think the most egregious thing that I found before we can even get how they're trying to like paint Salem as this super sappy thing to help sort of justify her actual terrorism. But like the most egregious thing is that like when I don't think they ever gave us a name, so let's just call him Hunter or whatever.
It was Rhodes.
Iron Man.
Rhodes.
Rhodes?
Was it in the credits?
No, it was in the captions, closed caption.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Rhodes. So Rhodes, for like years and years and years, has seen this child being abused, shocked,
Yeah,
and
take
like
her
done
with
that.
you.
And then the moment like this chick actually kills somebody, which you taught her to do, he's like, "Well, this is unacceptable. How
Yeah,
could you
exactly.
do this? I must fight you and arrest you." Like,
Well, that's
You're
why I
only
was-
supposed to do that to Faunus.
is there no child protective services in this
I
world?
guess not, man. But what I was saying with say sorry, right, was because they didn't show him angry. Like, when you're like, I must do this.
But
He
yeah,
was like sad. He's like, I can't believe I never thought of telling her not to do this. Hello. And then
They should have. Yeah.
it would have shown something from him if he would say sorry for some reason. I don't know. I felt like he was like, God, whoopsie, Damn. I'm sorry I didn't teach you the right way to be a hunter or huntress.
They should have made him a much bigger douchebag.
I don't.
Yeah?
My thing actually, I should not have watched this back to back with that episode 9 of Elena Dashie, because like when you compare the two, this does not hold up. It doesn't hold a freaking
Well,
candle.
of course, but yeah, but
Name one episode of RWBY that holds up to any other episode of any other show.
That's fair, but what I'm saying is like it has a very similar story, and it's like and they did that without even showing the abuse. But I'm sitting here, I'm like, I would actually like Cinder's story if instead it was much more twisted, where she actually had a decent life, and she kept going down a spiral of needing more. Like,
Yeah, they should have
yeah,
made her
that's
more
kind of what
evil,
we talked about.
All right.
Definitely more evil.
I was going to say something like but close to that, but not. That's actually a lot better than I was going to say, so I'm not even going to bother. So go ahead.
Yeah, like the sheer fact that we have, she was abused as a child, she was basically a slave. Okay, I feel like even Adam at this point has a slightly okay, not even that.
Oh yeah,
this is
Adam
a fine
definitely
backstory.
has.
This is a fine backstory, but the problem I have with it is that why did it take us so damned long to get to it? This is like, it's not really telling us anything more than we shouldn't already know about Cinder.
It took them that long because they had to figure out all the nuance and intricacies of just literally doing Cinderella but making it
was
grimdark.
literally Cinderella, except it wasn't so much a fairy godmother granting her wish of escaping for a couple of hours. It was instead this fairy godfather called Rhodes, and he just taught her how to fight for like a couple of years. A couple of years, gotta be.
Yeah, it's got to be a couple of years.
Yeah. And okay, second most egregious thing, he was just allowed to do that, and like they just got away with it for 5 years.
Yeah, just sneaking around. Why didn't he take her with her if he's going to do that?
I'm going to teach you how to fight. Oh yeah.
Well, no, here's the thing.
Okay, gross. But
I hate how the ending scene played out. Not only because of the musical choice, because they had a really good tone going into it, but also because
the ending of Cinder Story or the whole episode?
Cinder Story.
Okay.
Like, they had a really good tone going on there, with it being like a very sad, dour moment, and you kick him with the high octane rock. Like, no, that guys are killing the mood.
It went back into like some weird stuff. Like, it didn't stay upbeat though.
It wasn't just that, because like neither of them asked any questions. Like, think about this. He walks in, he sees her like fighting her godmother and strangling her. And he doesn't bother to ask, what the hell are you doing? What happened? Because...
Why would he ask, though? Yeah, he knows.
Okay. It's right there. Everything's right there.
Can we talk a little bit about
because he doesn't know the situation of, they discovered the sword that you gave me, so now this implicates him. So, like, think of it from a perspective of, she could have been... Like, I know that's not how it played out, but what I'm saying is, it could have been a moment of trying to protect his identity, because she wouldn't tell them and they kept abusing her, and she finally snapped under that stress. Like, there are several different ways to take it.
I think you're reading too much into that. What? Okay. I think you're projecting what you wanted to happen.
But honestly, he should have known. He should have known it should happen. Yeah, he should have known it.
And like,
it's right there.
Yeah, I know. I am projecting what I wanted to happen because what we got was lame.
The foundation of objective criticism.
I know.
I think the easiest thing would be to have, like, that scene where, like, she's walking up to him and he realizes, I can't take you with me anymore. You are a criminal, and it's my fault. So I'm gonna, like, he should have, like, backhanded her with the mace, knocked her out, and just left.
Like,
and
why
be like, see you around, kid. Have fun running. Because he's meant to be a hero, and she has literally murdered people in front of him.
No, not then. Earlier, before any of that. Like, take her away.
Well, kidnapping is against the law, too. Apparently slavery's just fine.
Kid hitting is fine, but kidnapping, no way.
That's why this guy's motive makes no sense, because he's okay with them doing it to this child.
Yeah, they must...
abusing
I don't know, man.
So I have no clue. I feel like it would have been so much simpler for him to be somewhat morally grey. If he was like somewhat morally grey and was like, I can't take you with me anymore. Have fun running.
Yeah, that would have been better, yeah.
And then that would have led to an opportunity where she could meet him again in one of the later volumes. It's like, this is my fault, but I'll deal with her.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
that's actually good.
I'm not going to complain too much about a guy trying to take moral responsibility for the murders that were just incurred because of his training, but, I mean...
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's so much stupid writing stuff here.
You could have done more interesting things with him. Making him morally great would have been more interesting, because they deserved that. They were horrible to you. Although I would have so liked it if like the stepsisters were actually like super nice to her.
Oh, okay.
No, I thought it would be like, I still think it would be great if like there was some element of this that they were super nice to her and she just took it for granted, like him. Like I like that. I like that. She just. The fact is that Cinder is not they're trying to paint Cinder as somehow redeemable because, like, oh, she's justified in what started her. But at this
That's
point,
what I was bringing up earlier.
At this point, she is well beyond redemption. Cinder ain't coming back from this. She has killed hundreds of people through her actions.
Is it okay? So serious question. Is this portrayed in a way that is meant to make the audience think, "Aw, she's just misunderstood. She just needs to be fixed or redeemed"?
Honestly, I really hope not, because it's not.
Is this more of a, okay, well, now we can understand how she got here? Like, we're not meant to, in Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and whatnot, we're not to think, oh, the Joker can be redeemed. It's more, okay, we can understand how the Joker got from this point to this point.
And then we can move on, kind of?
Yeah. I argue it fails at that too, because, you know, like, Cinder's tendencies of wanting more, you know, like Fatman and Raymond were talking about how it should have been just the stepsisters.
I mean, where's the lie?
I mean, maybe that was that way they were walking all over.
This is making my editing life really difficult.
Yeah, I didn't see any mud. I did not see any mud.
They were literally stepping.
Yeah, that's
Stop
true.
making my life difficult.
But sorry for swearing. They should have been nice, and it should have been Cinder who was the problem. Literally, because anything other than that is literally just doing Cinderella again, which is the most unoriginal thing ever.
I wish they would have twisted around a little bit more.
I mean, weren't you saying that they did that? Or I forget which one of you said it, but you said that they did a good job of using the the fairy tale, but not just doing the fairy tale. And now here they do this again.
Yeah, I
feel like that was me.
Where they use the...
Oh, no.
They typically have a good job of using the fairy tale, but just on, like, sort of a superficial level to, like, be set dressing, which is nice.
It is I who is the clown.
It adds a touch of uniqueness to the show. It gives it some of its identity, and it's kind of the heart of a lot of different stories that a lot of people take and run with the series. But here, you're right. It's just one for one. It's Cinderella, but hey, we're in a hotel instead of anywhere else.
It's edgy Cinderella.
I think I remember when I said that as well. It was the shark against Grim Reaper fight, right? Where the shark was clearly the shark from Peter Pan with the ticking clock, and her semblance was linked to that ticking clock.
Mm-hmm. And as far as Cinderella,
she's an alligator.
I said that in one of my streams.
that was a side character that had more of an interesting connection to their fairy tale.
Yeah.
And this is the main villain, who is literally called Cinder, and it's just Cinderella.
Fatman, you remember saying that in the stream about I hope they do something where it's like inspired by Cinderella, not one to one. This is too much. This is too close to it.
This is too close to it. Also, the strawberries look gross.
Do they?
Yeah, the lighting on those strawberries were terrible. I don't know what was up with the lighting this episode, but
because they have like black, like just straight up like black tips, and it's like, oh, that looks terrible.
I mean, maybe they're just terrible cooks.
I was actually getting more of a vibe, like the connection that I was making to this is like, okay, we got to do Cinderella, but not quite. Has anyone seen The Witcher with that Yennefer character? Maybe we should just do that. Because that's what it felt like. I was watching the intro bit where she was a slave at the farm, and they just sold her, and she became a slave again. But Yennefer's problem wasn't that she was sold into slavery. Yennefer's problem is that she was worth like 2 quid or 2 gold. That was her comeuppance. She was like, really? I was worth this little? I'm going to be worth more. And that's where her like desire for wanting to become more powerful came from. But like,
I heard Ninja's take and I heard Raymond's take. Batman, what would you make this? How would you make this better?
How would I make this better?
This backstory.
I mean, you know, I was saying this in last episode's stream that or not last episode's stream. But I do remember saying this, that like I would really like it if it was all Cinder, if the stepmother was actually really nice and the stepsisters were really nice. They both kind of like reiterated that point. But this particular thing, I feel like I would have liked it more if it was like even dumber. like I don't feel like this is dumb enough for me to like so bad it's good.
Have you seen Meet the Robinsons?
So how would it be dumber then?
Have you seen Meet the Robinsons?
Yes, I
the
have.
Disney film, the villain, the bowler hat guy, and his backstory,
Yes.
where he's angrily walking through the school, and they're
Yes.
like, "Oh, hey, Goop, how's it going?
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
Goop,
yeah,
you want to
that-
come out to mine later?" They all hated me. That would have been, beautiful.
That would
That
have been
would've-
way
that
better.
would have been.
That would have been the right level
Yeah.
of dumb.
Yeah,
They
but
all
like as
hated
far as like this goes, where like, I mean, it's so lame. She's a slave and she's doing her work, and then she gets tortured. Like we don't see like I mean, we saw her break the plates the first time, right? Like she
Okay.
broke the plates and then she got tortured the first time. But like, what did she do every other time?
I think it's just her go-to was that collar. Which
Yeah.
reminds me, like, does she even have any scars? Does she always have like chokers, like clothes with covering her neck? Now I'm wondering.
That's no, I don't think. I think she had like
Bandages one time, then
No, she doesn't have
Like,
anything
up to
now.
her neck.
She just has a high collar now. That's about it.
Can we talk about how progressive it is for the step-godmother to have human slaves and not fauna slaves?
yeah, that's what
It's
I
a big
was like.
step.
Wait a minute, what? Progressive, okay.
It's very progressive.
Well, no, I mean she has a no faunus sign. Would she employ faunus?
She wouldn't let that riff-raff in here.
Employ faunus.
Could you imagine if... now it's just making it even better. What if she got in trouble because she had little mice faunus friends? Like, literally just little kids. Little kids
And they
who
made her
were
a dress,
mice.
yeah.
And then they helped make her a nice dress or something.
Or they made that dress with sewing
And that's
dust
how she
into
got
it,
in
like she
trouble.
did. Ooh.
Oh, for all we know, we're like this isn't probably the end of the flashbacks for Cinder. Maybe we're gonna get a later one
Yeah.
where she like runs into a couple of like rat faunus and she befriends them, and then like they end up betraying her somehow when they learn that she's a murderer. I'm predicting that we're going to see that.
But she murdered racist humans. Is that how they
Murdered racist humans, but also started a race war between Faunus and like the White Thing. Okay.
If I can just say what I got from this is that you know how you guys say like, oh, the Raiders are doing this, that. Okay. I think like Ninja said, it's like, yeah, this is what's going on. No, I don't think they want us to feel bad or anything, but also I think they're showing us maybe how she's going to, she associates this with Salem, and now that's how she's going to betray her, or she will. She ultimately will betray her, which we already knew.
The scene where she connects it to Salem as well is a little odd, like because they cut back to it, and I feel like the difference is Salem being like, yeah, you disobeyed what I told you to do, went out on your own and may have jeopardized the plan, so I need to punish you and like shock you for a bit. And then she's like, this is just like the time when I did literally nothing wrong and I dropped the plates and my stepmother gave me 10 million
child
volts.
trauma though.
Yeah.
I guess you're
God,
right.
I hate that.
What I really
Can we
hate is when like she's being tortured and they actively cut back to the necklace like we hadn't just watched that 10 minutes ago.
That's so stupid.
Like I have this thing about like necessitating certain types of editing and thinking that your viewer, I mean, there's people that watch RWBY, but like thinking your viewers have the memory span of a goldfish is really insulting. Like, I feel insulted when it's like, yes, I get it. It's very similar to what her stepmother did. We didn't need not one, not two. We didn't need any flashes back, but you gave us 2 flashes back because you think that we're so dumb we forgot what happened 10 minutes ago.
Okay, can we talk about a little bit of an elephant in the room, and that is that fucking shock necklace, right? So, let's say I'm the one selling this shock necklace. Let me sell it to you, and perhaps we got this wrong misunderstanding of how this necklace works, right? We're assuming right now that when you turn a certain age, that you can just take it off.
Which is
Otherwise,
stupid,
why
but
wouldn't
please
she
continue.
take it off ever before?
Only because he pointed out, as soon as you're so and so age, you'll be free. That's my interpretation.
I am the owner of this slave necklace, and I'm pitching it to you. Well, you see here, you can torture this child for years and years and years. It won't work as soon as they get 18 and can legally buy guns and like become an adult and maybe go outside. But until that point, you can shock them to your heart's content, and this won't totally backfire. That seems like the biggest design flaw ever. So I
make sure to
I
get
don't
rid of
want to
them a year
think it's
before.
based on age.
and
I don't want to
away.
think it's based on age. That would be really, really stupid.
I hear ya.
I guess the only idea that makes sense in my brain is that she built up such a resistance to it that, like, whenever you try and take it off, it would shock you or something like that. If you just tried to take it off normally. But because she built up a resistance to it, she was just able to take it off in the end.
I think you're right with that because I just looked at it again. All right,
Yeah.
it was like 3 minutes to midnight, and that was when the dude came in and was like, "Hello," and it was quiet until the last like crash, which she was holding the stepmother up, and the two girls were already down, which means she was getting shocked already. And then while she was killing the stepmother, it was ringing, or right before or something. So maybe she did build up the tolerance. Okay.
I think a couple of shots there where, I mean, maybe I missed them. Did she ever try and take it off before and get a zap?
Before, I don't remember seeing that.
She never tried. I don't recall that ever happening.
Mm-hmm.
Also, come on, no
feel
blood
like-
for the sisters. Like, come on, guys. Did she
Yeah,
choke all
kill
of them?
children. Jesus.
Like they're not even uploading these to YouTube anymore. They can blood all they want. No blood for the dude who got stabbed.
Yeah, like they could go blood all over the place if they wanted. Just it's frustrating because, like, are we to assume that she snapped their necks like she did the mothers? I guess
She has a sword.
She has a sword.
Maybe they just walked into the room and passed out. Maybe they're sleeping.
They're still alive.
Yeah.
They both get back up like,
Cut to Sleeping Beauty, right?
So, do we know what Salem's semblance? What
Cinder.
Cinder's semblance is?
Apparently it's fire. So her maiden magic.
It's either fire or superheating.
Because I always assumed it was the ability to like conjure weapons.
Okay, but
I
here's the
assume
thing.
that
It was
one.
fire, right? But then she threw the brush, and it became like smoke or like dust or...
Oh, that's because
like,
it was soaked with
soot.
water. It was soaked with water. So she threw it, and the heat.
She just heated it until it steamed.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was almost powder.
That made sense to me.
And it's like, okay, so she's got fire is her semblance. It's not a maiden power,
And it's not glass.
Then it's not glass. Yeah, well, I mean that's what Ruby said in Volume 2. Oh, she fights with glass, but it's not her. So wait, okay, the maidens have glass power too. It's not
And heart.
fire. That's so bad.
I will say, pose and animation wise, I do like some of the shots in this show. There were some nice shots of Cinder specifically. I think I'll post one of them that I just really liked. I was like, that's a cool shot.
I have a
That's nice.
nitpick and a half. Is
And a half.
the floor on these upper levels carpet or
Lava.
not? And why, if it is carpet, is she using a brush and water on it?
You can still use...
That's why she was zapped.
You can absolutely do a brush and water on carpet. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
those stains out.
Have you ever had a cat piss on your carpet? You
Yeah.
use the brush and water.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing.
I guess.
Where did they come from with the
Did they bring like a bucket of mud up to the second floor and just like
Yeah,
step in
right?
it? Like, I don't.
Well, then,
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it's poop.
my canon theory is that they are the step and that their semblance is to
Hey, I
just
said poop this time.
excrete feces.
Well, the pun doesn't work if you don't curse, which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So people are going to be like, the step geese? What the hell is he talking about?
The step quack. The step quack.
this? Yeah, no, it is their semblance to just take big poop.
I'm having an OCD moment where I'm looking through the back further episodes to see if she has a scar or not. I don't know. I'm obsessed right now. So
I don't think she has a scar. I don't think it does that much damage, but just
Well, she does have a choker in the first season, like
Yeah.
her episode
remember
1
that.
design, like it has like a choker right there, like
Yeah.
around her neck.
you see that feels like something that like you wouldn't.
But that's
have.
not where her shock collar is, though. Like the choker was like up higher on her neck.
Yeah, so it's covering where the shock collar was.
No, the shock collar is down lower. On
I'm
her
looking
neck.
at the, yeah, it is covering. Well, I'm more worried about when she was in the arena with the bandages. I think that was open. That's what I'm going now. But anyway, keep talking.
Well, let's get out of the Cinder Pass stuff because I feel like
Yeah.
the only relevant point of it is that her stepmother used a shock collar on her, and like she's associating Salem with the same torture now, and it's like we're kind of just we're building towards the inevitable betrayal, and literally I could have cut that down. Like, you know how that we had that flashing scene of Cinder getting like getting tortured by Salem for being wrong, and we got the electrical shock scene. We could just cut out the entire beginning of this episode with Cinder's backstory and just have those flashes. I might have still probably complained about not getting more, but I would have liked the artistic representation of, we don't get a clear image of Cinder's backstory, but we get enough to know that she's associating Salem with the abuse she suffered when she was younger. We could have done that way more fluidly.
Honestly, I think it's just says in the very beginning where she's like, with you, I'm nothing. That's all. For me, that's all she needed to say. But I like visuals, so that's me.
I mean, it's kind of odd that now we have to stop that and talk about the rest of the episode. I almost feel like it would have been wiser to just have this all 17 minutes be the Cinder episode, right?
Did they get a backlash for when they did an all backflash episode in Volume 3?
Oh, that was stupid. Like they shouldn't have gotten flashback for that.
I think the reason why that happened is because it was immediately following a major event.
They shouldn't have gotten backlash for that flashback. There we go. English.
You did it. Yeah.
Yes, baby.
But like her backstory, like it's not about her lust for power. Like she just wanted to be not tortured.
Not tortured. Yeah.
Like, and Cinder's like, I can offer you power, and it's like that's not what she wanted. And now it's like she wanted to get away from abuse, and now here she's like subjecting herself to more abuse for the sake of something that she didn't even really want. I mean, not to say that like, oh, because she, it's impossible to want power, but it's like she just arbitrarily decided to want power and put up with abuse to get it, even though she hated the abuse and killed her abusers. It's like, what did they do? How did they get it wrong? She had the line in Volume 7 where she's like, you have power, and we're all hungry. I guess she was hungry, but it's like, it's not for power.
The emphasis of what lines were in that flashback. The guy and her made an emphasis so much on running. It's not about her wanting power at the end, because she had the power. She took back her power, she killed her stepmother and her stepsisters, and she was free. She took back her power, she was free. She didn't need anything more than that. But now she's running, and that's really it. That's the whole emphasis of her backstory. Instead of being about power like we were led to believe, it's about her looking for a safe haven. That's all this is. And it really, really annoys me that you completely change the motivation of the character on the fly, unless we get another flashback, which then further retroactively changes things to bring it back around to wanting power. Like she became some kind of faunist freedom fighter or something like that, or an anti-slave advocate, or I don't know, someone who argues for child protection laws. I don't know.
It's not. Yeah, I know. It's like so far. Cinder and Hazel both have something against people who hurt kids, and they're the ones hurting kids. You became the very thing you sought to destroy.
All right, I'm gonna hop. Well, we should start doing the questions in a minute, but let's actually cover the rest of the episode.
Yeah, we got one more episode to talk about. I liked you guys were talking about like why Salem was the one killing those children and likening Salem to a natural disaster, and I do actually like that. Not the whole Salem killing children thing, but the idea that she is not really shouldn't be seen as a person and more as just a storm, or like an earthquake that you can't really fight against. You just kind of have to get out of the way and survive. And
yeah, but you can't side with a storm.
Well, apparently you can.
Yeah.
I feel like this is just damaging Hazel all the more. It's just like
no.
It's seriously, the logic still stands. I'm angry at you, husband, because you got my sister killed. Well,
by Salem.
By Salem. Salem killed.
It's your fault Salem killed her.
It's your fault that the Grimm exist, and Salem is in charge of them, and she sends them out on the regular to kill people. And even though she became a huntress and got killed by them, probably, if she hadn't become a huntress, she might have still been killed by them because civilians have seemed to, on the regular, get killed by Grimm.
Hazel, go kill all the huntsmen. You know, the thing your sister would have been if I didn't kill her because of Ozpin.
But I feel like if I had a little sister and there was, let's just assume that Salem is an all-powerful god, because that's probably how they see her, right?
Right.
If some douchebag came up and radicalized my little sister's like, hey kid, want to go kill God? And then, like, God kills her ass, I'm like, well, shit, I'm not going to blame her for that. I'm not gonna fucking... I could try blaming the god, but what good will that do? I'll just be smited too. I'll blame the asshole that was like, yo, why did you send my little sister to go fight this fight that she had 0 chance of winning? Like, oh my god. Like, it would have been fine, just literally, if you just did not do that.
What we need for Hazel to work is a flashback to his first encounter with Salem, where he is so incredibly intent on killing her because he knows the truth. He's like, you have Grimm, you control the Grimm. I'm going to kill the shit out of you. And he tries multiple times, and she just keeps coming back. And she keeps taunting him with that till it breaks him emotionally. And then she's like, you know who you really should blame? The guy that's trying to fight me and sending everyone so fruitlessly against my wishes. You should go kill him because he's just getting in the way of me establishing peace around the world.
That would be great.
But
that would be great.
We don't have that yet, so...
I mean, if people thought Salem was trying to establish peace, that would be, like, enough, wouldn't it?
Well, there's the argument of... it's like... RWBY right now is in a land of chaos where, like, no one really rules and lives. Having an evil, like, monarchy that rules absolutely everything and has complete world power would mean less death over... I can't remember, there was a video that I saw about it. That was like...
A dictatorship in times of chaos is actually very appealing to people. People want order. People want law. They want something to control
yeah,
them.
kind of. It's...
Not control them necessarily, but to control
I think
the
it was a
chaos.
video comparing, like, what rulership under Celestia would be like and what rulership under Luna would be like. I know, cringe comparison, but oh well.
Yeah, don't put My Little Pony on the same level as RWBY. One of those shows is excellent.
Yeah, like, I don't even like MLP, and I feel insulted on its behalf.
But yeah, no, it's not about a good versus evil thing. It's like an order versus chaos thing. Like, I mean, I've always thought that back when people were like, "Oh, do you think Ozpin's gonna be the secret bad guy?" And I'm like, no, no.
He already is. Well, kind of.
I mean, he's not the secret bad guy anymore.
No, it's not.
But it's like it's order versus chaos, and not good versus evil.
But which is which then at that point? That's why I think this is a strange comparison. I'm kind of abandoning it the more I think about it, because Salem is very chaotic in the way that she does business.
Yeah. I know that's the weird, because I mean, like, you know, people they want freedom, and that's chaos, but, like, you know, people want safety, and that's order, and it's just like, oh, what's your Patriot Act, blah blah blah, you know, and it's like, it seems like they could definitely pose this in a way where it was factional, where it was just like, I see the benefits in, you know, survival of the fittest, you know, oh, let the Grimm destroy the cities, I'll be okay on my own. And then Ozpin is just like, no, some people want protection and safety.
You would need an island that's run by Salem, like literally that dragon island that we all just assume Salem owns. And have that just be completely grim walk around, and there are still humans there. And yeah, things are kind of shitty for the humans. It's not the best life, but they're alive, and they're not attacked, and they're protected.
Oh yeah, I know. Just like I want people in RWBY who are just like, hey everybody, I'm a cool guy and I don't feel no pain and suffering.
That's Hazel.
I'm all unsorrowful, and then like the Grimm are like, hey Grimm, how you doing? And then the Grimm like gives him a thumbs up because he's not sad, and the Grimm don't like aren't like attracted to like eat him.
What else we got? We got the team meeting up with Jean and Yang and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those characters.
And then the worms.
Let's get on to the surprisingly worst part of the episode.
And then fucking Iron. Sorry for swearing. God, my names. Ironwood's entire city got infested with tapeworms.
Yep. Like, God, that was. You could literally have done that any time. I would argue you could actually have done that sooner, a lot sooner. I mean, not the jet, but like
they clearly showed how they had to discover that Salem was sending a lake through into the city.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you have plenty of flying Grim, and there's holes in the bottom of Atlas, and I get they're showing us a shield here, but where was the shield when Oscar fell out of Atlas? Unless you're saying that it's a one-way shield.
He bounced.
Was it up then? There was I mean, the whale didn't show up until after after. Like, I mean, the whale showing up was the very last scene of last volume.
I'm sure we'll get clarification on this in the coming episodes.
I wanna say
Go on, Dashie.
what I was able to see from there. I obviously could be totally wrong, but with the river, she was cooking her river, her Grim, I guess, and then she shot it up to one specific spot, just again and over and over and over. I take it like a lot of Grim basically got, like, quote, sacrificed for that to break in just one tiny spot over and over and over, like, and then that's when the bottom part broke, and then that's when she was like, okay, send my tapeworms, and then the tapeworms broke the towers to break break the rest of the shield. That's what I got.
Yeah, that's. I'm not questioning how it worked. I'm questioning why that particular method. And what elements? I guess you're right. The shield would have went up after Oscar fell.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like they hit it. They transported the Grim there through the river, I guess.
They found out that people could get in through the postal tubes, and they had to wall up the shield immediately after that. But only
also, they are doing
that.
a fantastic job of making me not give a damn that Atlas is being attacked right now. Because
the whole city's full of assholes.
The three locales that we've had, the four locales that we've had in Atlas. We've had Ironwood's office, which is now tainted because Ironwood's going crazy. Or I guess Ironwood's compound, I should say. We have the medical compound, which is kind of neutral. It's a medical compound, but it's under Ironwood's control, so that's sort of a little bit tainted. We have Schnee Manor, which was owned by the Schnees. And we have the hotel that Cinder was a literal child slave at. I want this entire city to crash and burn because we have no frame of reference for a single good character or a single good locale on it. I don't care that there's a couple of good people on this place. If people are okay with child slavery, I want this city to burn.
I mean, this is the exact same thing about the entire human population versus the White Fang. It's like, yeah, no, wipe them out. just do it. Get rid of them.
I mean, why didn't the whale just ram instead of park? Like, it just sat there. It's like, okay, Mom, instead of just.
It's like, ow.
Why would you need to hurt your car when you can have your boys just go in and open the door for you?
I guess.
Okay.
But like,
it's too pimped up to damage, I guess.
I mean, even with the White Fang comparison, Fatman, I feel it's like an extra step because it's not just. There is something sacred in most, if not all societies, human societies in existence, that you protect the children, and in most societies, child abuse is considered horrific.
Go hard or go home.
You know what? That's an interesting idea. What about a fictional society where, like, protecting the children is absolutely, like, one of the lowest priorities?
Sparta, baby.
I mean, it would be here, too, because of the huntsman school. They start so young.
It's true. Maybe we do live in that world. That's fair. In RWBY, I mean. But, like, where child abuse just, like, being... I guess it is. Never mind.
Because we got Nora getting beat up. Then
I find that
gonna go through
hilarious. Right, what I wanted to say was RWBY has a really bad habit of trying so very hard to make it obvious that these are the bad guys, and that's the case with the upper city of Mantle, where they are so just irredeemable that there's no way you could possibly feel bad for what Salem's doing, because it's the shitty part of the city that no good person is.
That's the thing is, I don't think this was intentional. I don't think it's an intentional.
Yeah, it's not, because, again, they're doing it with Cinder now, where we're meant to kind of feel a little bad for her because of what... And then you just look back at her resume of what she's done, and you're like, how... It's like finding out that Osama bin Laden was picked on in high school. Like, okay. Or literally with the case of Hitler, where someone laughed at his painting.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I know, right?
Mine art is good.
My strawberries look good in this art. The point being is that RWBY has a terrible job of going way too far on signaling how villainous or evil these are the bad guys. Did you know that these are the bad guys? They have literal slaves.
Not to bring up the commentary again, but do you remember in the first episode of Volume 7 when they're like, "Oh, you dirty faunus, you're taking our jobs," and then they're like, "I'm so glad we got this character here to be the face of Mantle, so you really wanted to protect it." It's just like,
did
the
they
racist.
say that?
Yes, they did. The racist.
Wow.
They're like, we had to get this character in to give you a face to care about, and it's like, no, guys. No.
Like, not only do
you
you use a
a clip of that?
racist as the, like, you use...
I'll put a clip in the thing.
That needs some serious context.
So these were these two characters that we had in the script because we wanted to have, the faces of Mantle.
We built these rigs for the first episode. To me, in my mind, they kind of became the faces of Mantle. So I kind of thought like it might be interesting to bring them back.
Yes, here they are again. Here's Mantle. Our two people that represent Mantle.
An unabashed racist. That is galling to me that these guys are so unaware.
Before we head to questions, 1 through 10, how's this episode, guys?
Oh, this
just the episode alone.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
I'll give it a 6.
I'll agree with Ninja.
I typically want to give it a higher rating, but no, I'm giving it a solid 2. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think... I think if it had gone stupider, and it would have hit that so bad it's good mark that I would have given it a higher score, I don't even think it, deserves the so bad it's good points.
I wasn't laughing at how bad it was. I was just so confused. It's like, but why? What? This is so stupid. This makes no sense. This is our backstory for... Okay, Salem's the main antagonist, but the one that we actually... Salem's our main antagonist, but the one that we actually follow, antagonist-wise, is kind of Cinder. That whole RWBY versus Cinder thing has been paralleled since, season 1, I'm thinking?
I don't even think that's the case.
What I always point out is that Cinder is an endgame villain because she's the longest running one. And on top of that, she's the Lancer villain. She's the one that goes out and does things, while Salem is the one that's the mastermind. And oftentimes...
I can't imagine...
Oh, you go.
Go on, sorry. My bad. I'm interrupting a lot. Go on.
Oftentimes what you see is the mastermind deposed near the end of the show, and the Lancer either takes the place or tries to finish the job, and they're typically the final major threat to the protagonists. So what I think that's what they're building to with Cinder, is that Cinder is going to be the final major threat for RWBY in specific, I think, or Team RWBY in specific. And it's going to be like a you've burned all your bridges type deal, and it's going to be like, oh, we're united and you're alone and we're going to kick your ass.
I think my my fan theory, so to speak, is that Cinder is probably going to get Emerald killed. And that's going to be her quote-unquote, where she breaks away from Salem.
You think so?
Yeah, that's going to be my prediction of where they're going with this.
I
kind of agree.
I have one either nitpick or, I guess, a question. I don't know, maybe the writers are trying to show us how powerful Salem is, but how do you get a river to do that?
Well, doesn't she control... I mean, isn't it just Grim Goo?
True.
So, and she controls it.
That hard and that fast? Okay, gotcha.
I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. That's not the thing in this episode that I would... I like.
I
just think she can do it. I just think that's part of her powers.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, she opened a hole in the floor of her own office and had little creepy grim hands reaching out of it. I think she can just do that.
Okay, I like that. I want to add up all the powers. I want to see what she does.
Yeah.
This is
all right. So we're at an hour and 15 minutes. We gotta get to the questions.
Let's go.
Questions.
All right.
Oh,
So
there's gonna be so
the
many.
first one is Ragna A. Mercury, who points out, and I'll give you he gives a different time code, but I'll point out it's at 59 seconds in our recording, that the Grim whale off to the right in the intro is surrounded by floating buildings. And that is weird. I don't know what to make of that. Does the Grim whale have its own gravitational pull?
Oh yeah, you're right. There are just floating buildings there.
Are they broken?
Oh, which is weird. I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, they're destroyed.
It looks like it was destroyed. Maybe they did ram it later.
Maybe.
I mean, like it probably has like gravity or like some sort of like aura that pulls stuff in, because those look like mantle buildings.
If I had to hazard a guess, artistic-wise, I would guess that without those buildings, it's just a little too much negative space.
I guess.
Like, okay, take away those buildings, what are you left with? Well, you've got the Grim flying, you've got the whale, and then you've got a lot of sky, and then a lot of ice.
That's fair. I think I can see your argument there. In fact, actually, I'm now noticing there's a lot of negative space off to the bottom right.
Yeah, bottom right, but then you've got, like, the mammoth Grim on the ice that kind of, like, pop with that one.
Well, no, on the bottom left, that's
just
where the
my
mammoth Grim are.
artistic analysis.
Bottom left is the mammoth.
I don't think it's meant to be symbolistic of anything. Good spot, though. Interesting. Weird.
Yeah. Mediocrity asks, what do you think would have happened had Cinder not killed Rhodes? The episode might have been good. No, I'm kidding.
Not killed Rhodes? I think my theory of he, like, knocked her out and sent her to the... Well, either left or sent her to the police.
Well, I think if she just spared him more than anything else. But I don't think that was really in the cards the way that choreography played.
Okay, sorry. I read that as if she lost the fight, not spared him. Okay.
I mean, if she lost the fight, I think the series wouldn't have happened the way it did.
Yeah, spared him would have been cool.
Although,
I would look forward to him coming back later.
That would have been a cooler situation. That might have actually made this make sense. Because if you have another flashback after this for Cinder, what you could have had, you have her get arrested, sent to prison, meet a few mice faunus, and break out of prison, and then have betrayals going on.
What are you in for, having rat ears?
Like, you could see, like, it's a chain of events where it's like, no matter where she goes, she's always stripped of her power. No matter how powerful she becomes, she's constantly being stripped of it. She was at the orphanage. Then she was brought somewhere else. She's like, oh, maybe I'll have a new life here. But no, she's a slave there too. Then this guy comes and trains her, and she's like, when I'm 17, I'll be free. I'll be able to have my freedom and have power. No, she gets discovered, she kills him, and he kills them, and he fights her, and he wins. He's more powerful than her.
That would have been...
She gets arrested. Yeah. She's in prison. She doesn't have any power there. Like, it's a constant cycle of her getting just a little bit of power.
What if she was in prison with, like, one of the other evil people, like Watts or, like, Tyrion or something, and the reason she met Salem is just because she was window shopping for henchmen? Yeah, you'll do. I'll take you. That would have been great. But no, that would have also been great because it would have given Cinder more of a concrete, like, hatred of the world. Like, she hates the lower class poor treated her horribly. The upper class rich people, like, treated her terribly as well. Then the system treats her terribly just for trying to, like, protect herself.
Yeah.
It would have been a more concrete understanding of, man, we really do live in a society, don't we, Cinder?
Unfortunately, there are people in this society.
Floof asks, my question for the episode is, why didn't Salem's dumbass just have her whale ram the city towers and topple stuff? She just parked her whale on top of conveniently empty planes.
It's too pimped to damage.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
Determined.
Oh, there's a lot of chess symbolism going on this season.
Pimped,
yeah. Too many boo-boos to kiss.
Okay.
And make better.
It's not
the Grim rams the city, and then, like, for the rest of the season, Salem is just kissing boo-boos.
Okay. And she's like super warming. She's like super kind and warm to it the entire time. She's not like annoyed or anything. She's like, oh, my poor baby.
Cinder's watching this like, what the f-?
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of chess symbolism going on this season, and if you're playing chess, if you can either send in the rook to do it, or you can send in a pawn, and the exact same thing will get done, then send in the goddamn pawn. You don't risk the rook. Like, they are expendable. That she's only got one whale. When she can send in her boys to just open the door, then yeah.
All right, I hear you.
The dedicated flashlight man asks, was Osmond switching from Oscar justified or not? And how did it feel to actually see Hazel beat up and then slam Osmond/Oscar's face into the ground to shut him up?
He let him finish his sentence, though.
Yeah.
So it kind of lost all of its punch.
I mean, it was still entertaining, but like not enough.
Yeah, I like to believe that he's looking for every reason to like hurt him, so he's gonna let him finish his sentence, and then the boss is gonna like, yeah, hit him again. Oh, thank God, thank you, ma'am.
Hit him again.
Yeah. In that scene, he was saying he was about to tell him, but if they get all four, and then Hazel's face, I'm wondering, do they know what happens if they get all four? But
that's a good
question. We
question.
don't know what happens when you get all four, right? Oh no, it summons the gods.
Yeah, it summons the gods, and if humanity's not united, maybe RWBY telling everybody, and then they all suddenly unite off screen, and then the gods come back, and it's just like, hey, you did it! and they just bip Salem.
But do you think Ozpin switching from Oscar was justified? And I just don't know what you mean by justified. Just sort of like...
Personally, I don't even think it happened. I think it was still Oscar. He was
no, we had the sound effect. We had the sound effect and the eye glow.
Yeah.
It was like midway through the interrogation. I mean, I guess giving Oscar a break. I think like having him. I think I have to go back and watch an episode, but like having him be Oscar at all during that situation, was
pretty bad.
Pretty bad on Ozpin's part, where he could have literally just been like, "Listen, he has a beef with me, not you. He's gonna punch us either way, and you're gonna feel it later. Trust me." But
you don't have to feel it now.
Yeah, you don't have to feel it now. Go to sleep.
That little line was like, "Oh, maybe you took too many hits." I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I wanted to punch him right as soon as he said that."
Not all that evil asked. So on a scale of 1 to called it, how right was Ironwood? Called it.
How right to called it in regards to
that's the only question. Is like he's right about a lot of things, but what in specific are you asking about?
Do we even know that the Grimm can't fly up that high?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wish Upon a Christmas Star asks, do you think the huntsman would have taken Cinder rather than letting her stay with her stepmother and teaching her how to fight and hoping she didn't attack her abusers? I think he should have. I think that would have been the right move, would be to have kidnapped her.
That would have been
the
smidgiest bit of effort. The actual no effort answer was just go tell the police or the huntsman that, hey, there are abusers here that are electrocuting a child.
Hey, she paid for that child fair and square. And look, no ears, not a faunus. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit, that's one of ours.
It's the South Park thing. This kid is white.
Oh my God! It's because she had like the ponytails in. Everyone thought she had faunus ears the entire time.
Yeah. Ew, gross. You faunus. And then she brings her hair down, and it's just like, oh, I made a mistake. Oh well, you're already sold.
No, they have like what do you call it? Freaking object permanence issues. Where it's like, wait, where'd that other girl go? Who are you?
I mean, that's what I wanted to have Torchwick be. I wanted him to take off his hat and have, like, ear removal scars under there.
Damn.
That would have been cool. No, that would have been right up his character's alley. I
like a rat, because he's like, oh, ask the rats.
Elysian Empire asks, what do you think of the moon during turning as its phases go by? It's cool.
Yeah,
it's just cool. Showing time changing.
And it makes sense from a physics standpoint to some degree, if I understand it properly. Because it still has gravity well over those pieces.
Wouldn't it have less mass if it got broken? So that
I would commend the show if it actually went to a physicist and was like, hey, how would this work?
Sorry, I'm thinking wrong. If it broke apart like that, it would form a ring.
Yeah, it would
Saturn. Yeah, it would form a ring. That's how that works.
But this isn't. Stop applying physics to RWBY.
Yeah. No, I mean, because I was thinking this is probably wrong, but like, when it broke, and then it would have decreased its mass. So if it did have a perfect orbit like Earth's moon does, and then its mass suddenly decreased without any other things changing, then its orbit would have sped up, so it does actually spin now.
I mean, with Penny burning up on terminal velocity, like last episode, we've established that this show plays loosey-goosey with the physics, so it's more of an artistic thing. Artistically, it looks cool, seeing it rotate. Very, very cool. Poggers, dare I say.
Okay, Yang asks, do you think there's significance in the Hound, specifically smelling Neo, Emerald, and Cinder, the trio that went against Salem's orders?
Smelling? I think
she smells specifically. No, I think Crunchy was just like, she was out, and she was out. That's about it. I don't think anything specific.
It's a hound dog. He's sniffing out the ladies.
Maybe it's just getting their scent so it can be like, okay, ironically, the dog now has you on a leash type deal.
Oh my god. I kind of like that. I like that.
Floof has requested you answer Ko Marsali's question in the Plinkett voice, Fatman.
Why don't the hard light shield generators have point defense systems built into them?
And that's a very good question.
Well, that's what we call a contradiction.
A wizard did it. A wizard did it.
They had the same problem in Volume 6 with the hard light defenses around
Argus.
Argus.
I had the same issues with the reference. I can do a Plinkett voice, but I can't do it with headphones on. Like, I can't hear myself properly.
Yeah, I was having trouble getting into it.
Fatman has a ritual to get into his voices. He really does.
RWBY Volume 5 is the most disappointing thing since my...
Hey, I'm Hunter Green.
You gotta get Jersey. Gotta get old Jersey murderer.
This episode is worse than my wife.
my wife. If they made a movie about my dead wife, it wouldn't be called Dollar Store Cashier Wife. It would be called Fuck Off, Ghost.
Hollow Quincy PL asks, do you think they're planning to kill Cinder via failed betrayal? Since she's using the same phrasing with Salem shoes with her foster mom. Like I said, I think it's going to be the other way around. I don't think they're planning to kill Cinder. I think she's going to usurp successfully. Or replace. I think she's going to replace successfully and be sort of like a side betrayal, like sort of like, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to save you. I'm taking my power back.
It's not hers.
Yeah, that's that, but they will use that language. That's another thing. Mark my words. They will use that language.
That was another thing. Cinder, this whole show has been like, this is my power. It's been rightfully mine all along, or something like that. Where the hell did that come from now? Like, am I going crazy? Wasn't that a thing? Or it's like, listen, that power, that maiden power, that is mine, rightfully.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Like, I don't... Thieves are assholes, but I appreciate a thief that's like, hey, that's not mine, but I'm going to make it mine. More than a thief that's like, hey, that's mine already. Like, that's kind of a dick thing to say, man. Like,
it went with the pretense that this was some kind of, like, birthright for her.
Yeah.
I kind of like how Mercury is now being seen as one of the higher up henchmen, whereas
one of the trustworthy ones.
Yeah.
Traxathon asks, do you think Hazel or anyone on Salem's crew is likely to turn against Salem? Someone has to. That's where they're building to.
Yeah.
They're definitely building towards it.
Probably gonna be Emerald.
I think honestly, it's going to be either Hazel or Neo. Maybe even Cinder. I think they might actually pull something like that with Cinder, but I don't know. Blue Balls 501 asks, weird timing of the questions aside, but do you think the characters' weapon names will come up in canon aside from the few exceptions, i.e. Crescent Rose? What context would there be to be for the names to come up? I don't know.
Crow's gonna bust out of prison. He's gonna be running through it like, where's Harbinger? And they're like, what? My scythe! Oh,
that dumb thing. We threw it out. It's stupid.
I feel like this is the reason why anime characters shout out their names before they attack.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much cooler when Goku shouts Kamehameha and doesn't just fire a laser beam.
So it's like, Crescent Rose, go! Like that.
Crescent Rose! I don't know, like, that's something they could have went with the show.
And then with Nora, it's like in Thor 2, and she's like, look, Mama!
Saint Pup asks, thoughts on the 2 songs played during this episode? Thoughts specifically on the use of an OK Good Night, Casey's Band track in RWBY. I didn't notice, and all the same,
I didn't know that was
terrible uses.
I enjoyed them very much. I'm
with
creepy.
Dashie.
They were going good.
What was the fight song from their band?
No, I think they're referring to the sad song when Cinder was doing all the chores.
The 2 songs.
Like, No One Loves You, right?
Yeah, that last part, and just accept that no one loves you. That part hit, but yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that was passable and all right for me. Then I think, okay, maybe the subtitles made it worse. Like the fact that it just announced upbeat rock and roll music was going to be played.
It just became part of
it
at the beginning
it was out
up-
of place.
upbeat.
It was so
It was out of place, yes, but it just wasn't all upbeat.
Well, no, the thing is, like, upbeat typically just means the beat is fast type deal. It's a fast pace, and like that's not what they were going for. They were going for a nice, slow, dramatic scene, and then you just suddenly kick it into high gear. Oh my god, we gotta fight! Holy shit! Like that's what it felt like. It felt like that sudden just.
All of the emotional impact was kind of gone.
It's like what every frame of painting always complains about, where the music tells you how to feel.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily find that too much of an issue. I just find it bad when it conflicts with itself. Like, because the entire point of music is to get emotional resonance.
That is exactly what the issue is.
Way to make something super simple sound very complex, Raymond.
But like in the middle of it, it was like dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it had a build to it, but like
it slowed down. Like it was at 9:46 is where it's slower.
But I feel like we could go off on an entire tangent about music and how it's used in media, because it is sort of the job of music is to inform. It's to complement how a scene is supposed to feel. What else would music be for if not to better inform that?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't even like music in media. Whenever I play a game, I always mute the soundtrack.
Did you mute the soundtrack from Metal Gear Rising?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I muted it for every game that soundtracks are mutable.
I never knew that. I never knew that you didn't like music in media. That's weird.
Yeah, like what a lot of people do. Like, I've noticed this a lot of the times, you know, like with streamers and stuff. First thing they do, turn the music volume up, turn the subtitles on. First thing I do is turn the music volume off and the subtitles off. Like, I mean, yeah.
You don't like subtitles on?
No, it's a crime. Like,
yeah,
I'll put them on for the reactions because sometimes we talk over it, but as far as the cinematic experience, subtitles are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. Are you still referring to video games or?
Well, I can't mute the music on a TV show.
So you're referring
to
video
I don't
games.
typically
I always turn subtitles on in games, man.
Well, it depends, because like if you're in the middle of something, like you're in the middle of a fight and it just needs to someone's yelling important information at you during the fight, like you can miss it.
I blame the mixologists for that one.
Well, yeah, but it's still necessary at times. I guess you can still complain about it. It's fine.
Like, I mean, in Borderlands 2, the audio logs aren't mixed over the gunfight, and I think that's a problem with Borderlands 2. So whenever I get an audio log, I have to go off to some secluded corner of the map and listen to it, instead of like just playing it like while I'm fighting, you know?
Yeah. Ash Berrien asks, given how this episode established that Salem's faction doesn't know the truth about what happens when the relics are brought together, we don't know that.
They don't?
Do they? We don't know. I didn't catch that. What?
Unsure.
I was unsure. I asked because it didn't seem like it, but I don't think we.
Salem doesn't seem like the kind to just share information unless she had a good reason.
Do you think Salem lied about
sense.
what each person who follows her will gain by serving her? I.e.,
we know she does! She lies to them in front of each other!
Does she? Hang on.
Okay, who here actually hasn't finished watching all my reviews? Be honest. I know they're long, but come on.
I finished them. It's just,
I don't
been
watch
years,
your reviews.
Fatman. There's a lot of information to sift through.
You have a YouTube?
I mean, not according to YouTube, but I do upload videos.
But, okay, so let's go case by case. We don't really know what Watts was promised. Tyrion was just kind of promised chaos, and he's gotten that pretty much.
Tyrion wants love and head pats, and Cinder wants
serve mom,
power and domination,
and is currently one of the Winter Maidens, one of the four most powerful beings or whatever.
Yeah, Hazel wants to kill Ozpin,
and is currently getting to beat the shit out of him
after Ozpin instead of Hazel, and then she is like, "Oh, Tyrion, you suck, fuck you," in front of Cinder in Volume 4. Ah! She's like, not Winter. Who's who's the Emerald? She
Emerald.
she has mommy issues, and she's like, "Are you afraid, girly? Best be afraid of nightmares. You're living in one." And it's just like, no, she wants a MILF. She wants mommy salami, not.
Wait, you're talking about Emerald?
Oh God, she's so bad at lying.
Talk
to
about
people.
Emerald, yes.
Yes, Emerald.
The only thing that Emerald wants is for Cinder to be cool. That's all that Emerald's ever cared about.
Yeah, she's got those mommy issues.
I don't think that's a mommy issue. I think they're the same age.
Emerald has just dependency issues in general.
Mercury's my favorite. Mercury's just chaotic neutral. In the yeah, this gig pays and it's pretty cool. And yeah.
Chaotic neutral is such fun. Kaiser Klaus
I like
asks,
Mercury. I hope they don't do him dirty.
Kaiser Klaus asks, what are your guys' thoughts on the Cinder backstory overall, and how does any of this add to her character? Personally, I think it's what we in the business call epic cringe, but I want to hear you guys what you guys think.
Is that what the business calls it? I like it.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I would concur with that. It's epic cringe. It's very, very basic. Like, it's not even trying to do anything special.
Mr. Tarantino, what do you think of the script? Yeah, it's epic cringe. Don't want to tell you. You got any feet? Anyway.
Joss Whedon poked his head out. You said feet?
I don't know if it adds to Cinder's character, because we already knew that she kind of didn't like being bossed around by Salem. However,
sense.
Salem was everything to her.
It subtracts from her character actively.
Yeah, it kind of does make less sense, because what we understood about Cinder before was a little more concrete, in that she wanted to be the most powerful, to destroy the scum of society, and to just all in the name of Mom Salem.
I think it shows that she takes a lot of crap. She takes years and years of crap and torture. So that's what I got. Which
you could convey much faster in many different ways.
And did she want to give it back? Did she want to give back all the crap she took?
Yeah, that's true. Those never. I guess again, that's why we needed the prison scene where she just gets sent to jail instead.
We might yet still.
Because she'd be like, "Oh man, it's not just a couple of bad apples or bad peasants or bad rich people. It's the whole system. This whole society that we live in is terrible, and it needs to burn."
Which we already knew from Torchwick saying as much.
Yeah, and we already knew that because we've had several characters established.
And we've been in the year 2020 for the whole year.
For the entire year of 2020, it's been 2020.
2020.
God, so what you're saying is the most productive thing that anyone in this society has done is Ironwood shooting the politician.
Yep.
And taking that seat on the council. He's making real steps to making the world a better place there. Who says that Ironwood did something wrong? Raise your hand.
He didn't double tap Oscar.
He should have double tapped.
Well, to be fair, it's kind of hard to double tap when someone's hurtling down at terminal velocity.
You can just point down.
Well,
you could have walked over to the edge.
Wait, guys, turn on the shields. I need him to bounce.
Izanagi asks, Izanagi and JJ both had questions about Cinder's backstory that were like, how do you think backstory was done? Does it explain her actions? How would you improve Cinder's backstory with the way it aligns with her current motivations? Which we already covered all that. So
we actually went through.
What does Dashie
I asked
say?
you guys that.
Yeah. Christmas Blade Charge asked, so with Salem going full on D-Day with Atlas, how do you guys feel about her attack plan thus far? Should have covered more buildings. I think she should have crashed into that mausoleum looking thing in the front.
Keep thinking that she should have rammed it, but she went half on.
Yeah, I think if she's going to land the whale, she should have done it in a populated area. She should have landed on top of some buildings.
Just plopped. Yeah.
So it's
she's considerate.
In the middle of the city, so that she could push everyone towards the edge, instead of at the edge of the city, so that people can fortify.
She just Club Penguins this shit. She pushes everyone to the edge and then flips Atlas. Flings them off the couch.
God. Hasn't that city been evacuated? They've all been sent down?
No, they've all been sent up.
Not Atlas, no.
They've been sent up to Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That was the thing that RWBY was doing. RWBY's we gotta send them up to Atlas, and then Penny will use the staff to raise the city. But Ironwood was no.
No, they're too fat.
Ash and Zeppelin asks very similar questions. The first one being from Ash. Who, if anyone, do you think will be able to be turned against Salem with Oscar and Ozma's idea? / do you think his idea has any measure of success in it? I think it does, and we've already kind of gone over the candidates for that. And Zeppelin!
I think it's just going to be Mercury at the end.
He's the only guy on Salem's team.
Zeppelin asks, do you think Hazel will choke slam Salem off the side of Atlas? I hope so.
No.
But I don't think it will.
No,
Yeah,
I think he's gonna betray.
It would honestly suck if he tried and died trying to.
That would suck.
Oh
Yeah, it'd
my
be so
God,
lame.
yeah.
I don't think so, because he knows she can't be beat. Why would he even try?
Because it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. And because
I wouldn't. I almost wouldn't mind something like the end of this season when he sees the horror that Salem has inflicted or whatever, and then he learns of bringing all the four together, and it will be like I don't know. He learns that it's going to destroy the world or whatever, and he just goes up to Salem and says, "Respectfully, ma'am, I'm done. I'm going home."
Yeah.
And like,
and then I would want her to just be like, "Okay, see ya."
Yeah, see you later.
and then lets him go.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Put a shock collar on you? Those don't work. You're over 18.
You're over 18.
You're over 18. That doesn't work anymore.
No, he's like he would be like Toru in Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yeah.
You made me fight a demon, which is exactly the opposite of what they're making you do.
And his home would be somewhere. What's the last continent that we haven't gone to yet?
Vacuo.
Vacuo. Yeah, he lives in Vacuo or whatever. Then they meet him there again, and then he's relevant again, and that's when he joins RWBY or whatever. The idea of him like lariatting Salem and just John Cena RKOing her off the side of the whale, while amazing, would be so stupid, but amazing. So now I want it to happen.
I want him to suplex her off. That would be great.
Well, we need to make room for when Roman
just
comes
come up
back.
from behind, put her in a suplex, and just toss her. Like, just yeet.
With a chair.
That would be great. And that's it for the questions. So thank you everyone for sending in your wonderful questions. Those were very, very nice to get through. Just very quick, very easy, and very, very good questions generally. So yeah, I don't really know what else should we talk about. Is there anything else we want to talk about, guys?
I think we're good.
In terms of RWBY.
I mean, did we really touch on the Aesops and how shitty they are?
But they didn't do anything this episode except show up.
And be
yes. I mean, but that's just like it's presumed with the Aesops.
Yeah, that's what we're expecting.
I kind of liked Winter's talk. It's like, you guys are meant to be like military elite, and you're just like Yeah, act like it. Like, it reminds me of the beginning of season 3 when Winter slowly gets more annoyed by Crow, but like bites her tongue for the longest time until
well, I mean, that
they
was
really
an
can't
awesome
take
scene,
it.
though.
That was an awesome scene, but it highlights how Winter is like, yeah, just because I disagree with what you're doing and I think what you're doing is stupid, doesn't mean that I have to be like uncivilized or shitty. But the Aesops, it's definitely a case of, even though they're in the right with their arguments on what should be done, the fact that they're going about it in such an unproductive way, it pisses off Winter. Does that make sense?
I really wanted the scene in episode 3, I think, where one of the Aesops looked at Nora and was like, "Didn't you used to be blonde?" And then in this episode for that same Aesop to look at Yang and go, "Didn't you used to be a redhead?"
What, just confuse the two?
Yeah, just like get them confused. It's just like, I remember that banana head guy, but wasn't he hanging out with a redhead the whole time?
Oh no, that was his last girlfriend.
Also, like that whole like ice cracking thing was a complete letdown.
What?
It's like
Yeah.
that was just a river of
yeah.
Grimm, and I'm like, oh, we're not gonna get a cool monster fight? Okay.
That's a good question. What were you spoiled on, Raymond?
Oh, it's
You
Cinder's
mentioned-
backstory. Like I was spoiled the fact that it was going to focus on
alright.
Cinder this episode, and I'm like,
Okay.
great, wonderful. They finally bring that up. Finally. And it was as pointless as I thought it was going to be because it's like too little, too late.
Did somebody specifically tell you, or did you just find it on Twitter?
I
or something?
literally just saw the thumbnails of like Adele, and there was another person I follow that had it in their thumbnail, and I'm like, Great. Wonderful.
Like, I saw a tweet from Vex that was very annoyed, and then I stopped reading immediately because I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't be reading Vex tweets.
Yeah, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I missed the spoiler, but ooh, it was a close call.
I mean, I don't really... It was a small spoiler in the grand scheme of things because there was more stupid than I could thought there was going to be in this episode.
It was like 3/4 of the episode.
Yes, but it wasn't. It was like, okay, maybe we'll get something interesting out of this. I'm like, oh wow, no, this is exactly as terrible as I had hoped.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed all the wonderful questions that came in. And remember that if you want to ask a question yourself, you too can do so by joining mine, Fatman, or Dashie's Patreon for $1 or more and getting access to the Team Frostbite Discord server where you can ask that one question of yours that's been niggling in the back of your mind. And if you just want to hang out in the Tumblr, the Discord, not Tumblr.
If you want to hang out in the Tumblr and be drunk,
if you want to hang out in the Tundra Discord and just chill with us, you can do the same all there too.
Here's a couple of artworks that we forgot last week. We have them from Perry Doritos, Luca Blight, and Yo Boy Neptune. Thanks, guys, for doing the Deal with Darkness thing.
Hang on, is this going to be the last episode before Christmas?
No, the next one will be.
Next week.
Okay, we'll have next week. Okay, we'll do the Merry Christmas episode next week then.
Remember that at the end of the week, there is usually a stream on Fridays where over on Dashie's channel, where we give our even more extended or more refined thoughts on the episode now that we gave it a little bit of time. Remember that every odd episode, including the mid-season finale, is going to be up on Fatman's channel. And yeah, is there anything else I'm forgetting? No, there's not. All right, that's it.
That we love you all.
Love you all.
Brush your teeth.
And we'll catch you all on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ho ho, etc.